Downton Abbey Season 6. This is the final season of Downton Abbey. I predicted this around Season 5. You go back in my Season 5 review, I said that really this show has one, maybe two seasons left in it, and wouldn't you know it, apparently a bunch of the cast members wanted to let their contracts expire. That way they could move on to other things, which is just as well, because I felt like this was a good place to end it. While this entire show focuses a lot on change, and change in fashion, change in structure and class and all of that, this one really hits hard in the beginning because it shows that a lot of the nobility is not really living in luxury anymore. The fact that the Crawleys are still living in this big abbey, this big place that's Downton, is kind of an outlier, which creates this uncertainty that should they move to a smaller place or should they keep the big place and stand out from everyone, as well as, how can they, earn an actual income, as well as the staff. The staff is wondering if they should move on, particularly Thomas Barrow. He gets the feeling that a lot of the staff, the higher-ups, he's feeling like he's not wanted anymore and that he should find a job pretty soon, which is a little hard because all he ever really wanted to be is a butler of, a high house, a high family. And a lot of the high families are not having butler jobs open, or if they are, he would have to wear a lot of hats. Some of them would even involve him cooking, which he's like, no, that's not what I do. I just do the one thing, just be in charge of other people. Other conflicts include disagreements on how the hospital should be run. Should they turn it over to state healthcare services, or should they keep it locally run? But if they turn it over to state healthcare services, they'll be able to get new equipment and new funding, whereas if they keep it local, not as much. Mary and Edith have new love interests. Can they not screw it up? Can they actually end this season on a happily ever after note? Anna gets pregnant, so that's coming. That's exciting. Maybe her and Mr. Bates will finally have some happiness after a bunch of seasons of misery. In my last review, I talked about each character in specifics. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm going to try to make my videos shorter because I don't like editing really long videos, and I think people get bored very quickly if I'm just talking about each and every single character, especially since this has a really big ensemble cast. It'd be a little boring. I will say I enjoyed this final season of Downton Abbey. I think this is a really good way to end it. It doesn't end in a huge shocker. This isn't one of those series finales that will be talked about. This is no Lost series finale, but that's okay. That's okay. I mean, it was always a very linear story. The way it ends on a high note, and it ends in a realistic note too. It ends in such a way that I leave off thinking, I could have watched another season of this. I could have seen where everyone leaves off. Not too much changes to the point where I feel like it would be a 100% different show. I would feel like it would just be a more evolved show. But I think that just shows how very true to the characters Julian Fellowes was. Gotta hand it to Julian Fellowes. This guy wrote for, pretty much every single episode of the series. There's only 2 episodes in which he shares a credit with another person, and that's in the first season. Every other one, it's all him. That must be difficult, I would think, especially with a cast this huge. I mean, there's practically 2 casts. There's the nobility and then there's the servants. And for him to muster and manage all of that in his writing, mixed with the fact that he doesn't have 22 episodes to flesh everyone out, he has to do it all in 9 per year, is such an amazing job, and very well done in this final season he did. After watching this, would I watch this again? Yeah, I think I might. I don't know when. There's a lot of shows I think about, I'll watch this again, and I always think, I'll watch it again with my kids. Maybe I can show my kids a piece of British history. Maybe when they get to 10th grade world history, I can show them this video and see, this is what things were like in Europe. And here's a drama that my family used to watch and all of that. But I would be interested in seeing it again. Maybe seeing it again just with this idea of how everything started. Even by the clothes, just look at what they wore before World War I, and then go all the way to what they wear after. I would watch it just for the evolution of the clothing, because it's very evident in this show. There's a lot of focus on what they wore. great costume design, as well as to see how everyone's mindset was at the beginning versus how they changed in the end. Since a big focus of the series is sort of cultural values and the change of how they change over the course of like 10 years. Very well done ending the show. I'm glad he didn't let it go on for too long. I think that would have been very awkward if like a big portion of the cast was missing in season 7. That would be really strange, and I'm glad he decided this is the place to end it. Thanks for watching my review of Downton Abbey, the 6th and final season, and I'll see you next time.